Warning. The following video is rated PGN for pessimism and gratuitous negativity.
Please, may I have your attention, please? I have been asked to brief you all on what we now realize is the true long-term impact of having lived through nearly a year of this worldwide virus. I am afraid I have some bad news, and some really bad news, so please listen carefully. Not to put too fine a point on it, but I am afraid evolution is about to come around and bite humanity in the ass. It is sort of ironic that in a world where so many people think evolution is a left-wing plot that should never be taught in our schools, and that faith in religion is a fact that ensures our survival, but the very thing they don't believe in is the thing that is about to destroy us. Some people are accusing me of spreading doom and gloom, that I am preaching the end of the planet. Not at all. The end of the planet is still several billion years in the future, when the sun implodes and incinerates most of the solar system. And no matter how many vitamins and organic food you eat, there is no way any of us need to worry about that. This planet we all live on, which we call Earth, will keep on going no matter how many species become extinct. Hard to imagine, but this used to be a planet of monsters. Gigantic dinosaurs. And they left, and here we are. And if we leave, something else will take over. And even if all life on Earth were to be extinguished, the planet will still be the planet, just like the trillions of planets in the universe that never had life to begin with. So whether you believe in God or not, you better damn well believe in evolution, because it has all of us by the short hairs and is not about to let go. Like it or not, here is how evolution works. All living beings, including people, face an environment that challenges them every day. Could be the climate, or wild animals, or economic crises, or a global pandemic for which we had no known cure. And it boils down to basic survival of the fittest. And fitness in the case of COVID is being healthy enough to resist the microbes, or having medical therapies to defeat it. If you don't have either the natural immunity or the medical technology, then you are doomed, and your body stops working, and you no longer exist as part of the human race. You know, way back in the early days of the COVID attack, because it is as much an attack as the nuclear bombs we feared during the Cold War, I asked people, what do we do when the next unknown virus we have no defense against comes along next year? Well, the COVID variant then emerged in England, and is worse than the original COVID and spreading fast. Kind of puts that argument to bed. So kind of feels like Christmas, and not in a good way. Santa comes down the chimney once a year, and the presents are so small you need a microscope to see them. For most of you, the news that we have a couple vaccines that will allow us to defeat the virus, like killing zombies in the video game, is all we need to know. Case closed. Story over. But you celebrate a bit too early, and you ignore the basic facts of evolution at your own peril. Let's go back a few years, or even a few decades. Scientists and medical experts told us long ago that the overuse of antibiotics for everything from the common cold to viruses on which antibiotics had no effect was risking the evolution. Remember evolution? Of so-called superbugs that were resistant, if not totally immune, to any antibiotics we had. And this robbed us of any medicines to fight these diseases. It is basic math. Those organisms that were not able to resist the medications died off, leaving the survivors to live and reproduce. Survival of the fittest. The natural variability of life, which always produces a range of offspring, some of which can resist the challenges of the environment, guarantees that the species will evolve into a new population that is not killed by whatever the environment throws at it. Let me explain it using an example. Let's say in the beginning giraffes came in all different sizes. Tall, short, and in between. This is the natural variation we see in all living things. Basic Biology 101. Giraffes eat leaves from trees. The tall ones can eat leaves close to the bottom of the tree, or the top of the tree. But the short ones can only reach leaves close to the ground. The tall ones can outperform the short ones. They are the fittest. But the short ones suffer if they can't reach the tops of the trees, and they die out. So in the future the breeding stock will be mostly tall giraffes. The species adapted to the environment. Same with microbes. Bacteria and viruses. We kill the weak ones with antibiotics, leaving the strong ones to reproduce and threaten us. So people began not asking for antibiotics on every visit to the doctor. Hard lesson to learn, if you are a parent and your child is sick as a dog. So now comes COVID-19, and a worldwide hysterical use of sanitizers, which are simply over-the-counter antibiotics. Now I am not saying we shouldn't use them. That's all we've got, until the shots get around. But evolution doesn't care about why natural selection, the survival of the fittest, does what it does. It just does it. Ethics and morality don't exist at the microscopic level. So we shoot everybody with vaccine, spray the entire planet with disinfectant, and really stick it to those beastly little microbes so they never come back to bother us again. Well folks, the scientific terminology for that sort of thinking translates as when hell freezes over and pigs fly. Oh sure, everything may seem wonderful for a while, but just like spraying mosquitoes, unless you wipe out every last one, they come back. Not the same ones, of course, but the ones strong enough to survive the Chemsel battles, the superbugs we have no defense against. Oh, we will rush around and come up with a more powerful medicine and start the whole evolutionary cycle over again. But it is no win scenario. Did you know the new antibiotics they have had to invent to fight these new superbugs are so strong, they are actually life-threatening to the very patients they are supposed to be treating? Of course evolution could be on our side. Humanity might magically evolve into a super species that is immune to the superbugs. But I wouldn't wait up for it. The math just doesn't add up. But we all gotta go sometime, and the clock is ticking on that sun death in 8 billion years. It is New Year's Eve and I doubt I will even stay up to see midnight, so 8 billion years seems a bit of a stretch.
I don't know why that guy was so negative. I know for a fact the sun isn't going to explode for 7.68,342 billion years. Not 8 billion. I can do that waiting standing on one foot, but I will be sure to get out of this solar system before then. I think you better do the same.
Well, this has been totally depressing. I was going to mount a text bar saying the end, but that somehow seems inappropriate. So I will just wish you a happy new year. This year can't be any worse than the one we just went through. Or can it?